Well, I guess we are live. Let me double check this and make sure I got this all turned up right before I get going into anything. How's everybody doing today? We are at Shop Talk on August the 12th, 2025. How's everybody doing today? Actually, my head's still spinning. I am absolutely crazy busy. Like yesterday, I had to pull a 13-hour day. Just got up a little bit ago. Wanted to do this live real quick and talk to you today. I think today's subject is going to be, I'm going to call this, what is fake and what is real? Let's talk about fake and real today on Shop Talk. There is literally so much stuff going on in the car world that it's kind of crazy, really. Every company has something going on different, and my favorite company, which is GM or Chevrolet, isn't any different. As a matter of fact, I think Chevrolet and GM has more going on than probably anybody else right now. But we will save that for later in the show. And I wanted to tell everybody thanks for hanging out with me today at Shop Talk. Again, I want to make sure that you know I am not a mechanic. This is not necessarily a show about mechanical things. We aren't going to talk about transmissions and, motors and all kind of stuff like that specifically on the mechanical side, but we are just basically, I just basically named the show Shop Talk because it is a show that sort of revolves around anything and everything, cars, trucks, motorcycles. It's Music Man's Garage. That's what we do here. We like it all. Sometimes it can get a little confusing because I like so much, and there's so many different things going on. It's kind of hard to keep track of it all. And we will talk about that a little bit later, but let me open up this Go Juice. Like I said, I just got up a little bit ago, and I got to go to work in a little while. Another hour, I got to go drive a semi again, so I need a little bit of Go Juice. Today's flavor is Ultra Fantasy Ruby Red. It's delicious. One of my favorites. I have quite a few things going on. I know I have stuff that I want to talk about. You know what? Let's start off with this. Let's start off with talking about Music Man's Garage and where it's going and what it's doing. And I had something happen to me last Tuesday, a week ago, on the 5th of August, that is pretty stinking exciting. And that is, I reached halfway to my goal is 1,000 subscribers, and I got halfway there on Tuesday, August 5th. So I have 500 subscribers, and that's pretty exciting. So I wanted to celebrate that with you guys. Let's see. I think I have a button here. No, that's not the right one. Let me put my headphones on. I forgot. Again, not a perfect. There we go. That's the button. Celebrating 500 subscribers on Music Man's Garage. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah, let's celebrate. Thank you guys for your support. Wow, I'm actually kind of blown away from it. It blows my mind that you guys like this enough to hit that subscribe button. If you haven't done that already, make sure you do it. And hit the thumbs up. When you watch one of my videos, hit the thumbs up. That helps YouTube know that you like what's going on over here at Music Man's Garage. Now, with that being said, I wanted to talk about last weekend. We had a couple of car shows going on locally here. And I actually went out to the one last weekend, and excuse me, that was up at Purdue University up here off of Coliseum. It was called the Muddy River Run. I didn't really take any photos or videos because I was only there for a short time. I had some other stuff going on, so I wasn't able to. Don't know what's going on there. Okay. I don't have any footage or anything like that because trust me, it's hard to always have something going on as far as footage goes. And so I didn't take any photos. I didn't really shoot any video, but I went to the Muddy River Run. I ran into a couple of friends briefly and hung out. The weekend before that, I went to Cars and Coffee, and again, I still had jet lag from my huge vacation from the 2 weeks before, and being gone 3 weekends in a row before that. So I went to Cars and Coffee, but only for about 45 minutes, and honestly, we're keeping it real here at Music Man's Garage. I wasn't feeling it. Like I probably shouldn't even have went because I was in a weird place. But I did, and I had fun for 45 minutes, and then I left. Normally I'm there for 3 or 4 hours. But anyway, moving ahead. So let's talk about what's coming up this weekend. Let me see if I can find my calendar here real quick. This weekend up in Michigan is a show called the Woodward Dream Cruise, and I believe that happens. I think there are some activities starting on Friday night, August 15th, and basically it happens almost all day on the 16th of August, and it's up somewhere around Detroit. I've never gone. Have you ever gone to that? If you have, hit me up in the chat. They say, I've read it. I'm reading it right now. They say that there's 40,000 classic cars at this show. That's insane. And from what I understand, I talked to a couple of friends that plan on going up there. They said literally everybody just cruises up and down this main drag, and it sounds like it's almost kind of like when I was a kid, a teenager in my early 20s. We used to cruise the one-ways there in Davenport, Iowa. And that was a lot of fun. You know, you just hang out and cruise. It sounds like that's what the Woodward Dream Cruise is, with everything from exotics to muscle cars to, whatever, pocket cars, whatever you want to call them. Sounds like a big event, and I've never been, and I don't know if and when I will ever go, but one of the reasons that I haven't gone is because I have other stuff going on, and again, I can't go to every show or every event, and it's up somewhere by Detroit. I honestly don't even know exactly where it's at. I just know it's up in the vicinity of Detroit. So if you guys are watching this and you've been and you think it's amazing, let me know in the chat. That would be great. Otherwise, moving forward to the following weekend, now that is something that's pretty big for me. For the last several years I've gone. And this is on the 23rd. It's Friday 22nd, Saturday the 23rd. It's called the All GM Show, and it takes place at Berger Auto Sales up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Now, from what I understand, this is the 100-year anniversary of that show. So they've been doing that for 100 years. That's a long time to be putting on a show. And I also understand that this is actually the last show. So I guess basically they've decided that it's gotten so big and it's so huge that they want to stop. Like, can you imagine though, if you were a dealership and you have, say, 250 cars on your lot, for that weekend you have to move all those cars and make the room available on your lot so that you can invite all these car show people in, set up a car show, have a car show for 2 days. And then Monday, you have to go back to business as usual with your car dealership. Can you imagine the transition that they go through and the work that is involved in that? I'm sure that as a company, you know, they say all hands on deck for that weekend because we need you here. So I understand why they're stopping after 100 years. I mean, 100-year mark is a great place to call it quits. I get that. However, as a person that loves that show, I am going to be a little bit bummed out about that because that I won't have that to go to anymore. However, I will, let me put this in there on the side note. I want to go to Corvettes of Carlisle, and Corvettes of Carlisle happens the same weekend, the 22nd, 23rd of August. Or I don't know if it's typically the third weekend or fourth weekend. I think there's 5 weekends in August, but yeah, Corvettes of Carlisle happens that same week. So I've wanted to go to Corvettes of Carlisle for the last maybe 2 years, 3 years, and I haven't gone. Well, for one, I don't have a Corvette yet, and the other reason is it's Pennsylvania, way on the other side of the state. So I am planning on maybe making a vacation of that next year and going to that next year. And what perfect timing. I won't be torn anymore because the Berger All GM show will be over from this year, and then it'll free up my schedule for me to go to Corvettes of Carlisle next year. That'd be pretty cool, right? So anyway, yeah. So I wanted to talk about that, and then you know, time goes by so stinking fast on this show because, like I said, I try to keep it to a minimum just because I know that a lot of people don't actually get to show up for this show because it's 7 o'clock, and I understand that, but it's what I have to do because of my work schedule. So I guess what I'd like to do is I'd like to start off with talking about, I'm looking at my computer because I'm trying to figure out how to get somewhere. I want to show you something, and I don't really want to, like, it's kind of tricky. I've done it many times, but like it's better for me to just like navigate without boring you guys to death on this. And see if I can wow, I got to move that around to get this down. It's crazy. So I got to figure out how in the world. I'm going to go through this real quick and see if I can figure it out. Sometimes this can be a little bit frustrating. Anyway, yeah, so I have been spending the last week or so, I've been spending a lot of time on my computer looking at Corvettes and stuff. And as you know, we have Chevy.com. They have a platform that you can go on here and build a car, like figure out what spec you want on the car and kind of set it up and build it the way that you want to build it. And so that's kind of what I've been doing a lot lately of. And I'm just going to, I guess I'll bring this in and show it to you. But this is kind of what it looks like on the internet. And I always mess that up. I don't know why I do that. But let's see if I can blow this up a little bit. But anyway, basically, you know, you have a configurator up here at the top. This configurator, model, what platform you're building, and you go through and you pick out what model you want. Like, do you want a? See, I think I got that too big. So let's see if I can pull this in so you can see what I'm looking at exactly. Squeeze that in. I don't know. Anyway, so you go in and you pick out what model you want, what package you like. Do you want the 1LZ, the 2LZ, or the 3LZ? And again, LZ stands for packages on a Z06. This is a Z06, and you can go back to the very front. Let's go all the way back. I'm really not. So up here you pick what year you want. 24 or 25. Obviously, people are building the 25. And I will say that they don't even have prices yet on the 26 on the internet on Chevy.com. They do not have the 26 prices listed yet. Now they have, excuse me, they have released the prices for the ZR1, and they have that on this platform, but they don't have the normal. They don't have the normal cars on here for. And when I say normal, I mean Stingray, E-Ray, Z06. They do not have prices yet for 2026. Now, rumor has it that they plan on having that on here this week. But the way things work for me, my luck is as soon as I close this out, and tomorrow morning at 8:00, they'll probably put them on the configurator. That's usually how everything works out for me and my timing and everything. But again, I do this once a week, so I don't want to go any more than once a week. And I'm trying to figure out how to get this all on the screen so you can see it all, but it's a little bit different. Anyway, so let's go back to see. I wanted to show you something real quick. If I can find it. I guess I can't find it. I'm having a tough time today. Let's see. Vehicles. Well, I'm going to just pull this back out because for some reason, some of this stuff has been hidden from me, and I can't stand that because I can't see it. Look, let's go up here to inventory. That's what I'm looking for right there, inventory. And I gotta always have to change this for whatever reason. And then I have to go up here and make this 2,000 miles because I want to go out as far as I can. I apologize for the what you're seeing isn't necessarily the greatest thing, but all right, so over here on the left, let's see if I can move this over so you can see it. Over here on the left is 2025, and 2024. And then down below, if you go down here and you open this up, it will give you a list of vehicles on Chevy.com that are for sale. And the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to start here with the Camaro. If you look at this, it says there's one Camaro on the internet. We click on that, and then it pulls that car up. Apparently, I forgot I have to click 24 because there is no 25, and I'm going to uncheck the Z06, and we're just going to narrow this down to one car because that's what this internet is showing, that on Chevrolet.com, there's only one Camaro on the internet listed, okay? Now, if you open this up and you go in, I'm going to click on it and I'll show you what happens when you go in. Obviously, they want you to buy it right now. We're not going to do all that. Up here at the top, there's a dealership information. Click on that, and this shows you exactly where the car is. All right? It shows, let me move this over. It shows that the car is at 701 West Navajo Drive, Hobbs, New Mexico. This is their website, excuse me. This is their phone number, and it shows that they are closed with the map, right? Now, the reason I'm showing you that is because I called them yesterday. They've had this car on the internet ever since. Like everybody else closed out their car. They sold it. They got rid of it. They took it down off of Chevy.com. I called them a couple months ago, and they said, "Oh yeah, well that car is owned by the owner. It's his car." And I said, "Well, if the owner's gonna keep the car, can't you just take it down?" "Well, yeah, we could, but he wants to leave it up, so we're not going to." And I said, "Okay." Yesterday, I called him on the phone, New Mexico. I called him on the phone. I gave him this stock number. I read off the stock number I asked for sales. I read the stock number, and the guy said, "Oh yeah, we have that car." I was like, "Great. What's the price?" He said, "Oh well, I asked him. I said, "Is the car available?" And he said, "Absolutely, it's available. It's the owner's car." And on the internet, we have it listed with the MSRP of $59,205, which is right here. Again, I guess I'm off the screen. It's 205 right there, 59,205, right? And I was like, "Okay, cool. What you decided the owner decided to sell the car?" He's like, "Yeah. He decided to make it available." And I was like, "Fantastic. What's the price on the car?" $79,900. And I said, "Are you kidding me?" He's like, "Nope. it's the last Camaro in the country for sale. The owner of our company owns the car, but he has in fact made it available to sell. But he wants $79,900 for the car. Now, are you kidding me? 80 grand? Are you serious? $80,000. Now, I built a 2SS 1LE, pretty much loaded it out with a sunroof and everything, and the MSRP was $59,000. If I'm not mistaken, 59,618. So I don't even know how they came up with 59,205. I mean, I haven't taken time to go in and look at the sticker, but I think the MSRP, or the price that they have it listed as, is already high. Like, that's just my opinion. But now you're telling me that the guy's adding 20 grand to the price, and I think I know why. This is just my opinion of it. I think the guy wanted to be able to say, well, we sold the last 2024 brand new production Camaro from our dealership. That's probably what he's doing. He wants to be able to advertise that he has the last Camaro left in the country. And that's okay. I guess that's okay. But you know what? I don't know of anybody that would go buy that car. Like, it's not really that special, other than the fact that it's the last Camaro in the world, in the country, for sale. I don't know. Other than that, I don't think it's special. It's not like it's a Panther or a limited edition, like they only made one white car or anything like that. It's just the dude has the price jacked way up, and I think really the only reason why is for bragging rights. Now, whatever. I tell you what, Music Man won't be buying that car. I think that's crazy. I think it's way out of line, and it just goes to show you that dealerships are all about themselves. They're all about making themselves look good. They're all about doing what they want to do, and that's okay. But anyway, I just wanted to cover that with you. Let's go back to what I was actually talking about originally. I was in there looking at Corvettes, building Corvettes, and I ended up coming across that. Let me go back to my screen share, and I'll show you. Like, that's exactly what I did, because I ended up just basically going over there, and I saw that over on the side that it was still available. So I wanted to show you that and let you see that there is still one Camaro left in the country. Originally, like I said, I called a couple months ago. They said the owner owns the car, he's keeping it. But now they're telling me, as of yesterday, they said the car is in fact for sale, and they've got it marked up $20,000. That's pretty much insane, if you ask me. So I am really trying to make sure that you guys can see this, and for whatever reason, everything is getting messed up. So let's go back to let's see, we're gonna uncheck the Camaro because we're done talking about the Camaro, but let's talk about Corvettes. Let's look and see what they've got as far as Corvettes goes. And I'm going to check all of these boxes. Now, this top one, Corvette 10, that is, I went in there and I looked at that yesterday. Well, I can show you. Let me uncheck the E-Ray box, and I'll show you that the Corvette 10 by itself is basically the ZR1s that they've produced. I need to go back up here. Let me go back up here. I don't know why I lost 20. Yeah, 24 doesn't exist in this category because they didn't make the ZR1. But watch what happens when I hit the Corvette E-Ray. Yeah, there we go. It pops down 24s because right now in this country, I'm going to check these other two. Z06, we have Corvette. These are the ZR1s. The Corvette E-Ray, there's 881 of them between 24 and 25. Corvette Stingray, 859, and Corvette Z06, 1654. Okay, that is between the 24s and the 25s. Now, if you can uncheck one of these or leave them both checked, and you can narrow down what you want to look at, and it'll show you. But like I said, this Corvette 10 right here, let me move this over. I think maybe you might not be seeing that right. But the Corvette 10, that's the ZR1s. Now, keep in mind, originally GM said they were going to make 310 of those, and they only produced, I believe, 70 for 2025. They ran out of parts, and they only made 70 of them. So the ones that they did make are already sold out. Obviously, people went and snagged them up. And then, of course, they released the ZR1X. And then the people that they had ordered 310, there were that many orders put in, and then GM only produced 70. So the difference of that number, GM said, we're not going to be able to make you a 25 ZR1, so you have to now get a ZR1 2026, which means that now when you get the 26, you also have to pay the price increases because they released those as well. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to go on here and show you how many Corvettes, aside from the fact that a lot of the ZR1s have already been sold and spoken for, I want you to see right here, this is how many Corvettes, brand new, are in the country for sale. Obviously, minus the ones that have been built for clients. And because what happens is GM, they build them, they list them on Chevrolet.com, but they're actually sold, they're actually spoken for. But even still, even if you take away the fact that there are many on here that have been sold, there are still a lot of cars on here and that haven't been sold. So if you're looking for a Corvette like I am, right now is probably a pretty good time to think about buying a Corvette, because I mean let's go down here. I'm going to uncheck the ZR1 because I'm never going to probably get a ZR1. We all know that. I'm so poor I can't pay attention. I'm never probably ever going to get a Z06. They're amazing, but me personally, I probably will never get one, so I'm going to uncheck that. I do not really necessarily want an E-Ray, so I'm going to uncheck that. And then we're going to talk about just the Corvette Stingray. Now, that still leaves 859 Corvettes, right? Now, if I go up here and I uncheck 24, right? That means there are 767 Corvette Stingrays in America within 2,000 miles of my house. I live in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Within 2,000 miles of me, there are 767 Corvettes available, and the price range is between $60,000 and $115,000, depending on the spec. So if we move this over, all right, let's move it over, and I will show you. This is just on Chevrolet.com the cars that are out there available for sale. And the cool thing is about this car builder, whatever you call it on here, you can find whatever color you want. You can find whatever spec you want. You got your 2LT, your 3LTs. If you don't want white, you don't have to even look at the white. You can go over here, down here, and take out the color. You can change the, again, I got to move this over because it's not showing. So you can pick 2LT, 3LT, 1LT. Like for me personally, I would probably pick a 2LT. Let's just look at the 2LTs. 1LT has got a lot of poor man buttons in it. 3LT, I think, is basically overkill. These are all cars that are 2LT for sale in America. It has the spec. It has what's on the car. It has what color the car is. It tells you what the MSRP is. Let's look at this one. $91,825. They're selling it for $82,000. Guess what? These people want to sell Corvettes. If you're looking for a Corvette, this might be the time that you really think about picking one up, just because there's plenty of them out there. And the other thing is too, and I know a lot of you, if we were talking face to face, you would probably say, well, the thing about it is, for me, is I really want a 26 because of all the new interior layout, the new colors. For me personally, I think the best color that they ever put out for the Corvette is the Roswell green. I'm absolutely in love with the Roswell green. I saw one at the Corvette Museum when I was down there a couple weeks ago for Camaro Fest, and I saw the color in person. It's amazing. I'm not gonna lie, it's fantastic, and it blows my mind. Like, it just absolutely blows my mind how many Corvettes there are out there for sale in the country right now. And I don't have any idea why, but I feel like I need to show you this because I don't understand why I always go backwards with that. No, that's not it either. Let me do this real quick. Let's see if I can. All right, let's go back here to, I'm going to show you, see if I can find it real quick. I know we're running out of time. All right, let's go back to screen share, and I will show you what I'm talking about. Let's see. Maybe not. All right, I haven't figured that out yet, but anyway, let's get back on topic. I apologize for that. Okay. Again, my head is spinning. I appreciate you hanging out with me today on Shop Talk. I'm kind of all over the place, but I wanted to show you that photograph, and for some reason I can't figure out how to get that done. I think maybe if I go up here to source, let's see, that's not it. Camera, share screen. There we go. That's Roswell green, you guys. Tell me that's not the most beautiful car you ever saw in your life. I think it's absolutely, just absolutely incredible. Like, it absolutely blows my mind. But yeah, Roswell Green. So, that's what I said. The thing of it is uh okay, I got to go back to this, and we're going to go back to this one right here. So, this is back to where we need to be. I think I heard my phone beep. So this is what this is a different view for you. This is my creator's desk. I'm pretty happy about my creator's desk. But I wanted to show you real quick that I have some other things coming up that I wanted to explain to you and share with you. But I'm just like, I feel like today has been kind of all over the place. I apologize for that. But I wanted to tell you that there's one Camaro on the internet for sale, still left. The owner of the business that has it decided he wanted to sell it, but he has it marked up $20,000. It's $79,900. If you're looking for it, 2SS, it's white. It's nothing special. Go find it. It's in New Mexico. It's on Chevrolet.com. I called him yesterday. It's available $80,000 if you're interested. I'm not, but it is. Then the next thing is, we were talking about the Corvette and how there are literally thousands, hundreds of, or thousands of, if you include every spec. There are thousands of them available in America right now that haven't been sold. They've been built, they haven't been sold, and I think one of the reasons why is because they keep coming out with another platform. They keep coming out with different ones, and it's crazy. But let's talk real quick about what's fake and what's real. Okay, now I just got, this week everybody's been talking about the Gen 7 Camaro. See my hat? I think everything up to the end of 2024 was real. I think that all the way from Gen 1 to Gen 6, those cars were real. Why? Because they had a 4-cylinder turbo, they had a V6, and they had V8. They had supercharged ZL1. Those are real. To me, those are the real Camaros. Now, they're talking about coming out with what I consider a fake Camaro, and that is competition for the Mach-E Mustang. It looks like an SUV. I'm not even going to try to show you photographs of it, because I know you've been seeing it all over the internet. I know you've been seeing it all over socials. But guess what? To me, that's not a Camaro. That's fake. That is a company trying to keep up with other companies by producing a car that they think somebody might buy for the purpose of selling cars. And I think that's what GM might be doing. Now, the article that I read said it came from Motor Trend. Like, who is Motor Trend? They're not actually GM, because every report that I got from GM, they said, we're not going to build a 7th gen Camaro. We're done building the Camaro. And then Motor Trend comes out with the article that says they're going to build this car that looks like an SUV with the electric motor in it. For me, that's fake. That's not real. That's fake. So this right here, Camaro, everything up through the end of 2024 is real. Anything beyond that, at this point, in my opinion, is fake. I won't believe it. I don't believe in it. And even if they did come out with one, I will never buy one, because I'm not buying an electric car. The other thing that's real is Corvette. See, can you see this? Corvette. That's real, right? They are so real that they have people in a frenzy. They've made thousands of cars. They've built them. They got everybody excited about the Z06. They built the Z06. People were spending $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 over MSRP to get a C8 Z06. People were buying them, putting 100 miles on them, and turning around and selling them for a profit, right? Then they started making so many of them that people started to realize, hey, I don't have to buy one and turn around and resell it to someone for a profit because everybody can get one now. And then guess what? They came out with the ZR1. And then after that, okay, let's go ahead another step. Let's say we're going to have the ZR1X. Fantastic. Beautiful car. Fantastic car. We're going to take those cars over to the Nuremberg ring, and we're going to see if we can't get our cars on that chart. Yeah, they did it. 5th spot and 7th spot. Fastest production car made in America, faster than the Ford GTD. Okay, the Ford GTD's $337,000. The ZR1X is about $220,000. Again, I'm just rolling out figures, but then after they did all that, they said, guess what? We're going to make a limited edition ZR1X. We're only going to make 100 of them. And then on the waterfall in the middle, in between the seats, we're going to put a badge on there and tell you what number that car is. We're only making 100 of them. It has to be a ZR1X 3LZ platform. We're going to put a special paint on it, and we're going to call it the limited edition. What's next? Like, will it ever stop? I don't know. Probably not, because when has it ever stopped? It never stops, which is fine. It keeps us guessing. But anyway, I just wanted to go over this stuff, and I wanted to start talking about this stuff because Corvettes interest me. I want one really bad. I can't even tell you that. You probably get sick of hearing me say it. But one thing's for real. On a day that I said we were going to talk about what's fake and what's real, I have a real 23 SS 1LE in my garage, and that will not leave my garage. If anything, I will add a real Corvette to it. Now, here's the other thing. With all the cars that are being made and all the changes that are being made, you can still get a pretty bad to the bone car and have it in your garage. Even if you don't buy one brand new from the factory, you can still go find a really nice 2SS 5th gen Camaro to have that somebody took care of, and you could still buy one. And I'm at the age now where I don't even need to think about having an electric car. That'll never happen. Music Man will not ever own an electric car. I don't care if somebody gave it to me. I won't own it. Now the other thing is, we can have multiple cars in our garage. We can have whatever we want. But what you have to do is you have to have the car that makes you happy. And as men, we all know that if you're a lady and you're watching, I get that. But we are designed to always want bigger and better, and that's fantastic because the ZR1X, the ZR1 is amazing. The ZR1X is even more amazing. And the ZR1X limited edition that they're only going to make 100 of, those are also very much so amazing. The ZR1 holds the number 7 spot on the Nuremberg ring. The ZR1X holds the number 5 spot at 6 minutes and 49 seconds or whatever. But guess what? What about the Z06? The Z06 did a 7 minute and 11 second lap at the Nürburgring. What's wrong with that? I just showed you that you can buy. There are hundreds of them available, even without you thinking that you have to have a ZR1. Everybody, it's funny because I think everybody seems to, they always want to have the newest, the biggest, the baddest. But what's wrong with the one just under that? For crying out loud, you're not ever going to drive the ZR1X 6 minutes and 49 seconds around the Nürburgring. You don't have the ability to do that. And you can't drive that on the road and do that. Like, what are you thinking? Will we ever be satisfied? That's the question. I can tell you one thing. I'm satisfied with the Camaro I've got, and that doesn't mean I still don't want another car, because I do want another car in my garage, and I will have one. But I guess I just kind of wanted to talk about a lot of the social media and a lot of the advertisements and everything that you see on cars and trucks and motorcycles. Is it doesn't matter what you have. They always want to sell you something newer, bigger, better. And that's okay. That's what they do. That's how they stay in business. But for me and Music Man over here at Shop Talk, I start to get overwhelmed with the information. There is so much information out there. And, you know, let's talk about the Nürburgring for a minute. I didn't even know what that was like 6 months ago. And then I started hearing everybody talk about the Nürburgring. Okay, great. It's a place in Germany. I'll probably never go. It's a place where they take high-performance cars to figure out what their performance capabilities are. Great. Awesome. But I was a little bit confused, and so basically I sat back and did a bunch of research on it, and finally I came across a video that I liked a lot. And so last Saturday I put together a little video. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you check it out. It's not me making the video. It's a video that I got from GM, and they're the ones that put it out. They produced it. They made it. They interviewed everybody that was involved in that, the drivers, the engineers, everybody that went over there and did that task. If you don't understand about it, watch my video about it, because it'll help you understand more about it. Anyway, with that being said, you know, we are definitely out of time. Thank you for hanging out with me today on Shop Talk. But I have to go, because I do have to go to work. And I appreciate you listening to me yammer on about a bunch of stuff. And I hope it all made sense, because I'm sitting here wondering if it made sense. So I just wanted to thank you for stopping by and hanging out today with me on Shop Talk. Music Man, I'm signing off for right now. I'll see you in a couple weeks. If I don't see you at a car show coming up, thanks for hanging out with me today on Shop Talk. Music Man, I'm out.